Lithuanian is one of the oldest living languages in the world. According to a page on the University College of London website, linguists are particularly interested in Lithuanian because it is considered to be the oldest surviving Indo-European language. In fact, this language retains many archaic features which are believed to have been present in the early stages of the Proto-Indo-European language. Perhaps it's because of the special reputation that the country of Lithuania has a state commission of the Lithuanian language. Today we explore this organization, why it exists, and its perhaps semi-controversial role in preserving the Lithuanian language. So, did you know about Lithuania's official government body that makes decisions on Lithuanian words? I personally find this quite fascinating, since as far as I know, nothing like it exists in Canada, and I don't think there's any government department like it in the United States or the UK either. But please correct me if I'm wrong by leaving a comment. A friend who works for the Canadian government tells me that while no such Canadian department exists, the Canadian Oxford Dictionary is used to determine the preferred spelling of words in official Canadian documents. Other than that, my understanding is that the English language simply evolves over time with new words or new ways of using words. Then, broader society either adopts it or it doesn't, and things might eventually make their way into dictionaries, which in their own way make things official. To confirm my hypothesis, I googled New Oxford Dictionary Words 2021 and found exactly that. The Oxford English Dictionary's New Words list September 2021. In addition to new words, these regularly published Oxford lists also add what are called new senses, which appear to be additional ways of using existing words. For example, the September 2021 list added a new sense for the word ghosting, which is what people do on social media when they stop responding to messages. So if I understand things correctly, it would appear that English essentially just happens and changes, and we all change with it. But in the case of Lithuanian, a government body is responsible for deciding what is officially part of the language and what isn't. So let's find out more about this special department. In Lithuanian, the State Commission of the Lithuanian language is known as Valstybinė Lietuvių Kalbos Komisija, or VLKK. This is what I'll try to use for the rest of the video. Well, either that or the Commission. According to its website, the Commission establishes the directions of regulating the Lithuanian language, decides the issues of standardization and codification of Lithuanian language, and it appraises and approves the most important standardizing language works, such as dictionaries, reference books, guidebooks, and textbooks, etc. This commission is a state institution and is accountable to the Seimas, or Lithuania's parliament. According to the VLKK website, Seimas appoints and dismisses members of the Language Commission upon the recommendation of the Committee on Education, Science, and Culture. The Language Commission is comprised of 17 members and holds meetings at least once a month. Their decisions are accepted as passed if at least 2/3 of attending members have voted in favor. These decisions are obligatory for state and municipal institutions, as well as all of the offices, enterprises, and organizations operating in the Republic of Lithuania. Interestingly, up until January 2019, Lithuania had something called the List of Major Language Mistakes, which was an act adopted in 1997. This allowed Lithuanian language inspectors to impose financial penalties for non-compliance of basic linguistic standards. A 2017 article noted that failure to comply with the Commission's decisions and public misuse of words could result in a warning or even a fine. And committing many mistakes could result in a fine of as much as 170 euros. As I understand it, the list of major language mistakes was abolished in 2019. The chairperson of the commission clarified that the Language Inspectorate will still be allowed to impose financial penalties for not using the language, but that financial penalties for linguistic mistakes will no longer be enforced. So my wife and I tried to search the web for articles and evidence of specific examples of fines and language offenses committed, but we couldn't find much. We did find a 2016 article that offered 2 examples of commission decisions that received some public backlash. There was one case when linguists prohibited the registration of a trademark, Atsikele ir vere, which in English means get up and go. This name was considered to be slang by the VLKK. The commission also objected to the usage of the English word airport on the bus to the airport. Taking its own stand, Vilnius municipality didn't listen to the commission. Now, I try to be as neutral and unbiased as possible with my videos, but I have to agree with the Vilnius decision here. It's an international airport with international travelers passing through. And in whatever part of the world you're in, having the word airport in English on a bus goes a long way in helping tourists get on the right bus. But maybe that's just me. The chairman of the VLKK had an interview that was published on domreg.lt in 2021, and he provides a few interesting examples of VLKK decisions. He says that the word Google has become quite popular, and so it got a Lithuanian ending and became Googlas. More recently, the commission recommended using Googlas and Googlinti, where Googlas is the noun and Googlinti is the verb. Additionally, a new list of foreign words contains many semi-Lithuanianized terms. For example, we have cosplayus for cosplay, glampingas for glamping, and tuktukas for tuk-tuk. So I'm on the fence about this approach to language. On one hand, I can see how it's important to preserve this special language, especially considering that it's one of the oldest in the world. Additionally, I can imagine that decades of Russification, or attempted Russification, might influence Lithuania's desire to preserve not only its culture, but its linguistic heritage. At the same time, I am personally of the mindset that language is something that evolves over time, and to have a few people up in an office building deciding what is and isn't acceptable, it seems rather strange. So I'd love to know what you think about all of this, and I'm especially interested to hear from Lithuanians about their own experiences with the Language Commission and some of the decisions that have been made. I'm hoping for some interesting comments down in the comment section, so I hope that, even if you have nothing to contribute, you'll scroll down and take a look at what others have to say. As always, thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. A special thank you to the members of my channel, and an extra special thank you to Tom for his crazy generous super thanks contribution. Whether you contribute financially or not, I do feel like this community of viewers has quickly become one of the best. So please, keep doing what you're doing. And so with all of that said, I look forward to meeting you again in the next video.